What is happening, and welcome to another Photography Talk episode. And friends, hey, we got another box in front of us, which can only mean one thing. Heck yeah, we're going to be cracking this thing open. We're going to be reviewing. Actually, I know what this is. It's a metal print today, so there's no mistake what this is. This is a metal print. Now, if this is your first video that you've watched in this series, or it's not really a series, we're just testing out a bunch of different prints here. Let me get you up to speed as far as what you're going to be watching and what to expect and so forth. You see, 5 years ago, we did our first canvas print shootout. So the whole premise behind that was we kept getting a lot of feedback from you guys going to Google and doing a search for best canvas print, and seeing some websites out there that are telling you, okay, hey, this is the best canvas print, metal print, whatever the case may be. It happened to be just a site that's putting a list together. They've never even touched a print. And so we started doing the print shootouts as our answer to the question of who has the best print. So what's going to happen here is each year, and this is not part of the shootout, but this is basically what you're going to be watching here momentarily. So I'm going to crack this thing open. I'm going to break down the packaging, the print, the colors, just A to Z about what's inside this thing. So therefore, if you go out and decide to spend your hard-earned money on a print from this particular company, you have a good idea of what your dollar's going to get. Again, you may agree with me, you may not, but again, it's all about setting expectations. So therefore, you have a good idea of what to expect when you order a print from that particular company. Now, friends, this is not to be mistaken with the print shootouts that we do, or the actual print shootouts that we do each year at the end of each year. At the end of each year that we do these things, we open up the doors, we let you know, hey, if there's a particular company or brand or print that you're curious about or had good success with, let us know. And this print right here, this is actually a familiar face, and I'll share with you the story here momentarily. This is one of those brands that you guys recommended to us to take a look at, and the fact of the matter is, as you're going to find out here in a moment, we tested this company about a month ago, and it was pretty stinking cool. But at any rate, before I go diving into the story with this here, look, we put these videos together to help you make more informed decisions on the type of prints that you're getting for yourself or for your clients. Now, of course, you find some value with this video, friend, you'd be doing us a huge favor if you hit that like button down below. It really helps us out a bit with the whole YouTube algorithm. That said, friends, hey, come on, it's time. Pull up a seat and let's go. Okay, you may recall about a month ago, we did a review on this bugger right here. This is a metal print from ShinyPrints. This was quite the impressive print. Now, you may recall when I cracked this thing open, I was like, boy, I thought it was an acrylic print because I had forgot that I had ordered this. They had something called a Tuxedo print. I'm like, ooh, or a Tuxedo mount, and I was really intrigued with giving this a go. But it has some weight to it. And so, anyway, this was an absolute home run. You may recall the review. I was super impressed. Well, anyway, what happened was I got a call from these guys, or from the one of the owners of the shop there, and he was basically thanking me for the review that we did. And what's funny about this, if this was a crappy print, the review wouldn't have gone so well, and I probably wouldn't have gotten the call that I did from these guys. But anyway, so one thing led to another. He started talking to me about this print. I'm going to put this here because we're going to be referencing that momentarily. He started sharing with me about a particular style, a new print that they had coming on the horizon, and they were one out of only a few companies in the United States. I'm going to refer to my notes here that had this particular ink set. You see, with Chromalex, with an authentic Chromalex print, you're going to have that little watermark stamped in the back of the metal that says Chromalex. Then you have Chromalex Outdoors. And then you have, Chromalex Outdoors is good for a 5 years. I'm referring to my notes here because this stuff is pretty stinking cool. Has a 5-year life expectancy. Geez, if I could spit that out. Now that's printed on Epson inks. Now, a lot of print shops have that, so that's really not really breaking news. But what is pretty stinking cool, and where there's only a handful of companies in the U.S. as of right now that have this, there's a ink set called Canon Digistar Helios. Now, that takes that 5-year life expectancy, doubles it to 10 years. That's outdoors. So that is pretty darn cool. And that is what is apparently inside of this thing. Now we're going to treat this the same. So he sent me this to kind of show off this new ink set. So the ink set actually comes out of Italy someplace, but it's the same print. So he said he was sending the same print as what I originally ordered, so therefore I can do kind of a comparison between these. So it's going to be interesting to see how these look, but the big win with this is this print will then be able to be outdoors for 10 years. And let's do this here. My last video, I spoke about a buddy sent me some knives, so I stopped using my scissors to crack open these prints. So this is funny. He sent 12 of these handy blades here and a package of 100 blades. I'm not going to run out of knives here for a while. This is funny. Oh, you know what? And it already comes preloaded. Fantastic. Now if I can manage not to... These things are crazy sharp. But anyways, look at this. I look like a professional now cutting this thing up without the scissors. But come on, it takes some of the fun out of it. But again, thank you very much. Okay. Actually, that does open it up a lot easier. So let's... Okay, so we have one more side right here. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about this here because I know many of you have your outdoor areas, and who doesn't like to be outdoors? But the challenge is the moment you stick a canvas print or a metal print outdoors, what happens? The sun is going to do what the sun does, and it's going to beat the hell out of that print. So the fact that they have an ink set that is capable of being outside for 10 years, that is absolutely nuts. Okay, so we remember this box right here. So these guys have it's a pretty decent style box. You have this big old, okay, little thick edge here, thick edge on the bottom, and other than that, it's a box. Where it really starts getting interesting is, if you recall, I remember this, it has that really thick plate on there, and the reason why that's so special is if this is your first video, so the rest of you just go grab yourself a beer or something, because I'm going to I'm going to let people know that are watching this for the first time why the packaging is so important. So many know, especially around the holidays, we see a lot of the UPS, FedEx, DHL, they hire a lot of their seasonal employees and so forth. And sometimes prints can get kicked, launched, thrown from where they're printed to where they're going. And this sometimes happens year round. We've seen footprints, we've seen boxes bashed in. So the fact how this is packaged is really important, because if your print is just shimming around, more so with canvas prints than the metal prints. The metal prints, obviously, being metal, they're going to be a little bit more stronger for that. But reason why I like this sort of mounting here is, I mean, I'm really hitting this here pretty good. So this takes a good side impact. And obviously, with it being a metal print on the bottom there, that's not going to do much. But anyway, so they have this taped pretty heavily on... This really is going to work much better. Look at this. Absolutely game changing. Now if I don't go too far and end up cutting through my desk. I had to check on the bottom, make sure that I wasn't going through the desk. That would not be good. Alrighty, so we have that. Wow, what a difference. Again, feeling the weight of this and feeling the weight of this, you get a firm appreciation of just how much weight that Tuxedo mount gives to the print. But, okay, so now we have the print inside a heavy-duty bag. I really feel one of these days I'm going to cut myself with this thing. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do before I start comparing the print to that one, I'm going to treat this like we do with any of the other prints that we do here. I'm evaluating first the colors, and I'm looking up in the large portion of the sky for any sort of wonkiness or banding or anything. Because again, if a printer that they're using has, boy, you know what? I'm noticing changes off the get-go. But we'll get into the comparison here momentarily. But I'm looking at the ink right now. as I go around the edge. And I'm feeling around the edge because we have seen metal prints that were jagged, or you could actually cut your finger. Probably not my best move of running my fingers across it, but the edges are nice. There is, I mean, the photo is extremely sharp and looks absolutely fantastic. On the back, okay, so on the back they have that same stamp that you can get, of which I really liked, and I'll put the name of it on the screen. I can't think of what it was called. It was like Stamp Press or something like that. I really like that. So if you remember on this one, of course, with the Tuxedo mount, that just really pops for obvious reasons. But I really like that, especially for you professionals out there that are selling your prints. I think that's pretty cool. So this was just simply COFA. This was the event that we went to. We can see the mounting hardware, which is mounted right on the back here. That is nice. So it includes, we have a little level in there, and it looks like, does that fit in there? Okay, so that just kind of pops, rides right on the top. So they provide 3 screws and all the brackets that you need. All right, so the frame, boy, you know, and I've said this many times, the companies that do the metal frames, you really have to have your jig set really tight, because unlike wood, if your jig is not set properly, you cannot hide. You get these gaps in the metal corners, which again are quite minor, because the print's going to be up against the wall. But still, part of what we do here, we dissect every single part of a photo. And here's something just like the other one. You have these little rubber knobbies here, and that is important because it keeps the print off the wall. And especially being a metal print, if you have walls that are delicate or wallpaper, you don't want these things going on. They're scratching and possibly doing damage to your walls. But this print looks absolutely fantastic. And there is the Chromolux badge right there. So we can see that Chromolux EXT. It's, here we go. Chromolux, okay. Outdoor, there we go. It just says Chromolux Outdoor. Okay, so that is quite faint. So again, if you get a metal print and you want to make certain, because Chromolux is where things are at. Now, so you want to make sure it has the watermark on the back. Now, let's start comparing. I'm going to close this thing before I jack myself up. All right, so first, one of the things I'm noticing here, and let's see if we can, I'm hopeful that we can, that this will show on camera here, which, so if you look at this one right here, if you look at the fuel pack on the back of my truck there, you can see the reds definitely look, the reds are a little bit more punchier. Okay, let me see. And actually the violets, actually the colors seem to pop a little bit more with the outdoor one, which is, I'm guessing it's to be expected because it probably has some color to spare. I'm speculating on that, but that looks, I'm gonna turn this around just for a second so I can compare these things here quick. Okay, one thing that I'm noticing off the get-go here as well, okay, look at the tire. Look at the spare tire in the back there. Let me get the reflection out. So here is the back. This one right here is the one with the Keon Digistar Helios ink. That is a mouthful. Okay, let me get this straight here. Okay, so look at the blacks there. Again, I'm hoping you can pick that up. Compared to the original on the front here, the blacks are also much darker, which says a lot because the original print was pretty darn awesome. Yeah, the blacks were good on the original, but again, I'm noticing I'm noticing just a slight difference, a little bit more in saturation, a little bit more color with the I have to keep looking at it so I can remember how to say it. The Keon Digistar Helios. And if I'm saying that incorrectly, somebody correct me in the comments down below. But I am noticing just a tad bit more, the colors are a little bit more punchier in that one right here. The blacks are, I mean, I really noticed the black, funny enough as it is, on the spare tire in the back. Wow. It takes a print that looks amazing as it is, and it really levels it up a bit there. And price-wise, so again, starting with the last print or two ago, we started introducing the value side of things here. So this print right here, which of course, in a minute, we're gonna shift over to the scorecard for this. This print right here was $137.80. So you have $99 for the print. You have $18 for the mount, so $136.80. So a minute from now, we'll take a look at the value score for that. But man, this really looks pretty darn amazing. All right, now let's check out the frame and see if this is centered. 2 inches, 2. Go over here. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. This thing is dead center. Let's take a look at the scorecard for this outdoor print. Okay, there you go. Now, a couple things I want to point out, and as I was looking at the PDF file that they sent me here, some things that I'm reminded of here. So the Chromolux HD metal prints, which are shot with Epson, they use Epson inks for these things. You have a WI rating, WIR, which incidentally is Wilhelm Imaging Research. So this is a company that basically tests the longevity of inks and all that other fun stuff. So you're talking about a 65-year rating with that. When you move to a Chromolux Outdoor with the Epson ink, that moves it up to 225-year rating. Now, when you amp it up, oops, that was this print. Okay, so now we're talking about the Keon Digistar Helios on normal Chromolux. You have a 200-year rating. Once you bump it up to the Chromolux Outdoors with the Keon Digistar Helios, you're talking about a 300-year rating expected. So again, there is when we spoke about the value a moment ago, considering this print is $136.80, you're getting double the life expectancy of it for being out in the sun. That is pretty darn cool. Plus, the colors look absolutely amazing. These guys did a great job, and now I get it. Actually, everything kind of falls into place from the call that I got where they were sharing that they had something that kind of levels this up a little bit more. I really like how this looks. And funny as it is, here's funny, I just noticed here, this even looks a little bit sharper. And this is really, really well done here. Again, this is a fantastic print. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Again, this is the fun part about doing these shootouts. First off, at the end of each year, you folks are the absolute gems here. You're the ones that are sharing with us these amazing prints that you've had success with, and for us to get onto the show. Had you not brought this to our attention, we would not be aware. Now, what's going to happen here is, over the course of the last couple months, and I noticed I didn't say this earlier, we've been testing out a lot of the companies that you guys have been sending over to us and recommending to us. Now, if you're looking for the canvas print shootout or the metal print shootout, or 2023, we're going to be doing the acrylic print shootout for the first time this year. We're going to be doing that in Q3, Q4 this year, or the second half of this year. So right now, we're just having a little fun testing out a bunch of new prints, and we may be changing our shootouts this year to a Titans, which is going to be like the best of the best, go head to head. That's going to be pretty fun. So we're not quite sure yet. We're still playing around with how we would basically put that together, but it's sounding pretty awesome. So it's not too late. If there's a print company that you've had great success with that you think we should take a look at and possibly consider for the shootout for either the canvas, metal, or acrylic, let us know in the comments down below. But anyway, friends, as always, we appreciate you swinging by here today. YouTube is full of a lot of options that can grab your attention. Babies and puppies, all videos all over the place, but you've watched ours, so we really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you during the next video. But it's that time where I am going to ask you to do all that YouTube stuff, so if you haven't already, please consider hitting that like button, the subscribe button, and therefore, so you don't miss any videos coming up. Hit that bell so therefore YouTube does its notification thing every time that we come out with a new video like the one that you just watched. But friends, that is all I have here for you today. I promise you a fun video. I think these guys really hit it out of the park. I hope you enjoyed it. But it's time to shut off these cameras so you get out there, stay healthy, and take your best shot.